Hello friends, so we have basically covered the adapter section. It's a lengthy session, I will say, and we covered different types of adapter. We just basically created also 3 adapter in our lab in the PingFederate console, right? So maybe I'll say one thing that for now, if you have a very good understanding of HTML form adapter, then it's fine. And with the timing, maybe definitely once you have the practice of like open token adapter, once you configure some application using open token, using reference, or maybe using Kerberos, right, and maybe other adapters, right, using certificate based adapter X509, then you will get a very good idea. But for now, I'll say that if you really understand the concept of adapter, if you really understand the HTML form, that's enough, right? Maybe you can just go and integrate in your lab environment HTML form, how I am doing, and then just do the practice and see how the things are flowing. And definitely then maybe in the company, if you need to configure Kerberos whether X509 cert or any other adapter, you are definitely comfortable to do that, and you are able to do that, right? Yeah, so it will not be a problem. So yeah, if you have any question, please put in the comment section. We can definitely cover, and yeah, I'll discuss that. So now, yeah, let's discuss PF16 part 2, that is authentication policy contract. So let's we'll just try to understand, and yeah, we can just create also APC in our PingFederate environment. And yeah, so let's begin. Okay, so yeah, let's quickly put it here. Authentication policy contract. Okay, so what is APC, authentication policy contract, right? So basically the policy contract is the middleman between a policy and the connections. Policy means that whatever policy you created, the authentication policy you created inside PingFederate, and the single sign-on connection you configured, right? So basically it's a middleman between a policy and the connections. Okay, and this makes managing authentication flow much more simpler, right? That means like if you are not using APC, if you are just like for example, once you build the connection, you have two options, right? Either you can choose adapter or you can choose APC, authentication policy contract. So choosing APC will make your life easier. How? It can just easily, you are able to administer the policy using APC, right? Like you're not having much burden also on the application, and in the policy side also you can easily define the APC and just map the contract, right? So yeah, maybe once we just like complete the policy section again, like on PF19, then you will see that how APC is really helping you, and how it's making the things easy. But for now, just try to understand that it's just makes managing more authentication flows much more simpler, right? And it's just like the middleman between the policy and the connection. Okay, now just try to understand, like I'll say, take an example. With the example we'll try to understand. Okay, so example, like you have maybe 20 SP connections, okay, service provider connections configured in PingFederate. Okay, configured in PingFederate identity provider end. Okay, and all these applications having configured with the Kerberos and HTML form adapter. Okay, that means, so all these connections have this two adapter configured. Okay, adapter means you understand now, right? It's a authentication mechanism. So you need to define that while you are configuring a connection, so that once the user access that application, PingFed trigger this authentication mechanism, right? The Kerberos and the HTML. So in this case, you have just configured these two adapter in PingFederate. Okay, under the SP connection, service provider connection, whatever the application connection, right? And PingFed acting as an identity provider here. Now you have a policy also, you have a authentication policy where you define the logic. Logic is that, like, first you are basically looking for the Kerberos part only, Kerberos based authentication. But in case if it fails, right, maybe with some reason if it fails, then you are just redirecting a user or landing a user to a different authentication experience, that is HTML form. That means first you are just recommending all the users to, or basically you are triggering Kerberos based authentication for all the users. Okay, if that fails due to some reason, then you are landing the user to the next factor authentication, that is HTML form, that you define in the policy. That you have this structure. Okay, you have a connection, you have these two adapter, and you have a policy which basically look for the Kerberos first, and if it fails, then it will land to the HTML form. Okay, now you have a requirement. Okay, the requirement came, you have requirement. Okay, you have a requirement came for the MFA mandate. So from your company you have the requirement came that maybe there is some rules violated or something happened, and as per security reason you need to just go for the MFA mandate, right? Like you need to just apply multi-factor authentication for all these applications. Okay, that's a mandatory. Now let's choose something. Yeah. Okay, now you have two options to apply this. Okay, like to this MFA part. Let's try to understand. Okay, so first option is like, so in the first option what you have, like you can just create an MFA adapter. Okay, that means you will first go to PingFed site, how we currently just created in the previous session, right, the adapter. So you'll just create a MFA adapter first, just for MFA experience, multi-factor authentication. You need to create that, right? Then the second option, what you will do, you will map the adapter to all your 20 connections. That means you will go to all 20 connections one by one, and then you will just map this MFA adapter to all the 20 connections. The second thing. Third thing, what you will do, you will just update, or I'll say you will modify the authentication policy, right? So that like in the policy tree you just need to modify the authentication policy tree, so that in that like as first of we have the Kerberos and HTML form only, but now we have the like once this cycle completed like Kerberos or HTML form, then it will land to the MFA option for the multi-factor part, right? For the multi-factor authentication. That is one way, right? And it's again like I'll say it's not a good way, it's a legacy way, right? But this is one way, right? People are doing in the industry, some people, right? The good way or the best way I'll say is, let's try to understand this second option. Now in the second option I'll just talk about that. Definitely in the second option also you need to just definitely create the MFA adapter, otherwise it's not going to happen. You need to just create the MFA adapter, right? Because yeah, anyway you need to create that to experience the user the multi-factor part, because you are not having the earlier. Now in the first option, as what you are doing, you are just not using authentication policy contract in your authentication mechanism. That's why you are just defining the MFA adapter to all your 20 connection. That means you are going to one by one to all the 20 connection, and then just adding that adapter to all the connection, and then after that you modify the authentication policy tree to that experience, so that the user can able to get MFA also post this authentication, right? Now in the second option, we are not using the adapter, we are not configuring the adapter in the connection, rather than we are using authentication policy contract. Okay, that means we have, just imagine that you have 20 connection and all the 20 connection configured with the APC, authentication policy contract, with some name, like take a name like something, right? Like APC, you can just say like PF learning APC something, okay? Anything you can say, right? So you have some authentication policy contract defined, and you already defined in all your 20 connection. You are not defining adapter there. Okay, now what happened in this case, you are not supposed to go all the connection and make the change. Rather than what you will do, you just need to modify the policy again here. Modify the authentication policy tree. Okay, that means here what you are doing, like in the second option, definitely you created the MFA adapter, but you are not defining under all the connection, right? Because you have defined the authentication policy contract in all your 20 connections, so that in this case you are not going to define again, you are not supposed to do anything on the connection. What you need to do, you just need to go to the policy where already you defined the authentication policy contract and the mapping. There you just need to add this MFA adapter in that policy tree, right? So that the MFA will trigger for the user who are just configured with using that APC something, right? Or using that policy. So you can see how the things like becomes easy using APC, right? Like if you're not using APC, you just need to go and define the MFA adapter in all your 20 connection, and then you need to go to the policy and define update there also. If you are using authentication policy contract in the connection, right, in that case you're not supposed to touch the connection. You just need to go to the authentication policy in PingFederate, and then just need to define that layer, right, extra layer, that MFA part. That's done, nothing more, right? So that's basically helping you to administer the thing, right? So because you need to do the administrative work also, right? So that makes your life easy, right, using APC. because you are not supposed to do anything with the connection. You understand, okay, my connection already configured with this APC, with this policy contract, so I just need to go to the policy, to authentication policy, I need to update this part, and that is fine, because I know that this all connection are just configured with this APC, so I'm not supposed to touch the connection, right? But whereas if you are using adapter in the application, you need to go and update. So you have the option, right? We will see, right, once we do the onboarding of application, a SAML based application, maybe it is like on the PF, I think 25 years SAML application onboarding. So in that session we can see that, right, how we are going to utilize, like either we can just create two connection, right? We can just create one connection with adapter, and we can create another connection with APC, so you can understand the difference, right? But this is a good example, right? So one you are just doing good, like more number of work, you are going to the connection, updating there one by one, it is taking more time, right? Whereas in the using APC, you're just going quickly to the PingFed console and just updating the policy, that's all. So yeah, and it is easy to administer also, right? You just need to administrative part is really becomes easy. And the same thing can happen once we just discuss on the fragment part, right? So fragment also just make your life easier, right? Again, like if you're not using fragments, your policy looks very complex and it's not easy to administer, right? But if you use the fragment part in PingFederate, again, like the administrative part is become much easier, and you can easily able to administer your policies, right? So these APC fragments, these both are just helping you to reduce the complexity, and yeah, it is easy for you to understand the things. So yeah, I think this is about APC. Now quickly let's jump to PingFederate console and let's go to authentication. We need to go to authentication tab, then go to policies, and then you can see policies, fragment selector and all. So right now we are not going to touch all the things, just go to policy contract as we discussed the APC. Now create the new contract, right? So you can see what it says. Policy contract allows authentication policy to map directly to target applications such as SP connection. This also allows IDP connection to map directly to SP connection using a shared contract. Okay, like that. So let's quickly create new contract and put a contract name something like PF learning. Okay, we put a PF learning for now. Let's go to next. Now you need to define the attribute contract here, right? So we have the subject already defined as a predefined, so let's put an email and let's put one username. Okay, now go to next. Yeah, so just save this. Okay, so you have this policy contract done, right? So you have the APC ready with this attribute, right? Subject, email, username. Now once we define the policy, then we need to do this, use this APC, right? We just need to do some like policy contract mapping, right? In that we need to use adapter, because, or yeah, we can see that how we are going to, because we need to bring the values, right? For example, you just define the APC in your connection, so in that, like, you can use APC again to bring the values from the directory server or from anywhere, right? So for that you just need to do the contract mapping in the policy. Okay, don't confuse with all those things for now. Just try to understand that you understand the concept of APC. Just it make your life easier to administer the things, and you can just define under connection, and then you need to just, once you create authentication policy, then you need to define this APC under that, right? That we can see in the coming session, right? But for now, just like, yeah, just you need to go create the contract name, put the contract name, and just create the attribute. That's all, nothing much. Okay, so we'll just do the cluster management, replicate it. Yeah, applying security. Yeah, so this is good, I think. Okay, so let's close this session and quickly we can jump to the PF16 part 3, that is we are going to discuss about radius authentication and Kerberos part, okay, on a more detailed way, so that you can understand this, and then we can go for the PF17. Yeah, that is, I think, authentication selector configuration. Yeah, so it's not much, I think, for now it's left. So once we complete the policy, please go through all the concept like data store, PCV, adapter, authentication selector, fragment, policy, and the authentication policy contract. Just revise all those things, and then definitely you are very good with the concept of PingFederate, and then quickly go for the different application integration, so you can do the testing and all, right? Okay, then yeah, thank you for watching this. If you have any question, please put in the comment section, and yeah, let's meet on the next session. Thank you.